Good morning.
Morning, T.
Good morning. Just sharing the link.
And we're actually on time.
We are on time.
Probably the first in a wee while.
Usually it's like 8:09.
Yeah, 8:09, 8:10.
Yeah.
Fudge it a little bit. I don't think we've ever gone on early.
No, we haven't gone on early. But usually with that new intro, we usually forget to push go live. But that's where we're at.
We're fashionably late.
Yeah, always. It's questionable. It's like in my genes.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
would you rather be 3 hours early to a plane or 1 minute late?
I'd like to be early because otherwise the anxiety is just hectic.
Yeah.
You know, but I always somehow end up being there 1 minute before.
Yeah, I'm a right, we're catching a plane, we need to leave 6 hours early.
Yeah. Like we need to be at the airport
and
watch every other plane take off before yours, right? Definitely.
Have you got a funny plane story?
Oh, I don't think I do. When I went to Raro for the first time, I was so hungover on the flight back. I slept the whole flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably as bad as it gets. But what about you?
So the very first time I went to Worlds, 2014, right? I had the long-term car parking at Auckland airport. So used my card to get in, right? That's how you do it. Sweet, did all that, took my bag, checked in, got through security. It's like, I might buy something. Fuck, where's my card? Left it in the front seat of the truck.
Oh, no.
I've technically left the country because I've gone through customs and immigration. I can't come back.
You can't come back through customs.
I can't come back. So I'm like, I'm about to go overseas for 10 days with no card. And I had no cash on me. Oh, no, I think I might have had $100 US.
Wow.
So I got to Hawaii, because I flew Hawaiian Air. So I got to Hawaii, pancaking, and rang up Angus. You know, Angus who comes in here? He worked at ASB, and I was at ASB at the time. And I said, bro, I need a solution fast. I have no card. I'm now going to go to America for 10 days. I have a bank ATM card, but no credit card.
Right. So you would never even worked over there?
No. And so, they can, but I put all my money into my credit card.
Right.
So I didn't have a lot of money in my ATM card. I was like, is there a way to get a from my credit card into my FCOS?
Yeah.
And they did some roundabout way of doing that. Did that. Didn't realize there's like a 30% interest rate charge on it. So that trip cost me an arm and a leg.
I bet it would.
And that bank card only worked in very small places. So what I had to do is I had to go to an ATM and draw out $2,000 in cash. And I just paid everything in cash.
Honestly, money overseas scares me. It honestly does scare me. Does it scare anyone else? Like, do you get like low-key going into like in an ATM and you don't know how to use this ATM? You're like, is someone going to jump me? Card. Yeah. There's someone. Yeah, exactly. And don't eat my card.
Yeah, don't eat my card.
When you're like, the person in New Zealand's told you that you can use it because it's a credit card, but you might get there and the shop that you're at's like, oh, we don't take international credit cards. Like, it's not like that freaks me out. But good little opening story there, bro.
That just popped in my head as you were talking about it. I was like, that's right. And then when I flew back into New Zealand, I was like, I bet you that, because I didn't know where the card was. And as soon as I got to my truck, looked in it, and it's sitting on the front seat. So obviously I'd done it, put the card in, and just put it down on my front seat, drove in.
Were you in a rush?
Yeah, no, I wasn't in a rush.
So you might have been like,
I was excited. So it was my first time in Corrie Club.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to get into Corrie Club. I was going to get there. And then, bang.
That's where we're at. Who's on this morning? Let's... I'm going to be bringing Justine on, but I just want to know who's on because I can see these viewers. But who's on? Good morning. If you've got a funny story, first one to comment always. What a dork.
Hey, at least I live my life, mate.
Yeah, hard. No, but like I can relate to that as well.
Yeah.
I think for me, the scariest part about flying is filling in the declaration form. Like I watch border security, right? And I still get it wrong when they're like just say you go through duty free and you got the right amount because you don't want to go
over.
Yeah, right. And then so you go, it's like, have you got more than this amount of alcohol or something? And I always tick yes because I don't want to say no, and then they see, and then they're like, oh, you've got too much. Like that scares me more. Like I always ask the person next to me, what do I tick? Because the question is like one of those questions that I have like 3 answers for, right? Oh, good morning, everyone.
Do you know what a hack is though when you're going through customs in New Zealand?
What?
So you know when you go get your bags and you go down the line and there's a declared line and a non-declared line.
Yeah.
What you do is if it's a really busy terminal, you declare drugs. You declare your prescription, like, I know, Panadol.
See?
And then what that does is that you then go on the line with this fuck all people. So you go straight down and you bypass like 90 people.
Oh, when you say you've got those.
Yeah, and then you go straight in because they're like, oh, what have you got? I've got Panadol. All right, that's sweet. Go through.
Yeah, wow.
But it only works if there's buckloads of people on the other line. It doesn't work if it's the other way.
Have you ever been checked and you've seen someone else getting checked and they're actually in trouble?
No.
I think when I was coming back from Canada, I did. And I had, because marijuana is like, it's decriminalized there. It's not legalized, it's decriminalized. Oh no, it actually might be legalized now in Vancouver.
It is, it's totally legal.
So I had crumbs in my pocket and the dog sniffed it, obviously. And I was like, oh, I just was honest. I didn't say like I was hiding anything. But so I still had to go get checked. But there was like another guy over there and he had like all this tobacco. He had like tobacco that he hadn't declared. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I would be too scared to do it. Do you think you could be a mule?
No.
Yeah.
I'd be sweating like I've just done Fran 19 times.
If your life depended on it.
Oh, I would if my life depended on it, but I would be freaking out at the same time. And I certainly wouldn't want to be putting it down my throat.
Every time we fly, Livy always asks, do you reckon this plane will crash? I hope she doesn't say that in front of everyone, because damn, you'd get the look pass.
Yes. This one here though, Liv, why would you have a gun in your how would you get that in your bag? How?
I don't know, but I think there's a meme going on around at the moment in America about the taser and the gun.
Oh, right. Yeah. That was because of that incident.
Yeah,
right?
that right guy. Yeah. And they were like, it's a taser. No, it's a gun. Bang. America's crazy. Anyways, fam, speaking of planes, we have a mate that has just landed back in Aotearoa that is in the 14-day quarantine. You all know Justine. She was competing where?
Yeah.
She'll tell us.
Turkey, Kyrgyzstan, and another place that I can't pronounce. London, I think.
London?
No? She can tell us.
Yeah, she can tell us. But so if you have any questions, jump on, join the banter. But yeah, we're going to bring her on now. Good morning, Justine.
Morning.
How are we? Are you awake?
Might have slept in a little bit and just seen your message at like 8:08.
You've got bed here.
Hey, no, I brushed my hair just now. Thank you.
I think it's bad
and
lighting.
I put on a t-shirt and bra for you.
Oh,
I feel privileged.
do you walk around in there naked, like because you got nowhere else to do? Like, do you like? I'm going to save on washing. Walk around naked.
No, I like to keep structure in my day, so I make sure like I wear a bra during work hours, and then wear nice track pants during work hours, and lounge track pants after work hours.
Is that the hack?
I think so. Otherwise, everything just blends together.
Yeah.
And
What day are you on? What day are you
on my
on?
bed during the day.
What day are you on of lockdown? Oh, quarantine.
Halfway. 7.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
7 days. Have you seen anyone famous?
No. I've hardly seen anyone.
Is this like, besides like probably video calling your family and that, is this like the first other conversation you've had?
Yeah, pretty much. I've had, like, when we go for walks downstairs, I try and force conversation on the other detainees, and some of them aren't too keen. What's that?
I love how you call other people detainees.
Like he's a prisoner.
Yeah. Like you're paying
we are.
a detainee.
Yeah, well, at least in prison you're allowed to exercise outside. We just have to walk in a circle.
Wait, so you don't? What is this scenario and where you are?
Yeah, where are you?
I'm in Stamford Plaza in Auckland.
That's all right.
Oh, down Albert Street.
Yeah, sure.
I don't.
Yeah. It's Albert Street.
Yeah.
She knows this. No, but give us a little brief rundown on what it's like.
Okay.
A day to day.
Yeah, so a typical day. So basically you're in your room until you get a test when you first arrive, and then once that's been cleared, you get a blue bracelet, which you're supposed to wear, but I don't like wearing it, so I've made it loose enough that I can pull it off and on. And then the blue bracelet, the blue bracelet gives you basically yard time privileges. So you're allowed out of your room for yard time, but you've got to book it, and you're only allowed to book at the same time as your cohort. So I'm Group C, and those are people that arrived on the same flight as me. So I'm only able to go out during those times. And then it's for half an hour. Face mask whenever you open the door or leave your room. And then when you go downstairs for yard time, they ask you 3 times what your room is, and then you get to go out. And I don't know, it's kind of like the most exciting but most depressing time of my day, because you walk around the area of the 808 driveway, and everyone's walking around the outside, like you're a racehorse in a horse trainer, and you just walk around, and it's so depressing because you're just like, this is actually worse. You realize how shit the situation is that you're in.
Wow.
And then once you've had your 30 minutes of outside time, you go back into your room and stay in your room, wait for your meals to be delivered, and that's pretty much it.
So 23 and a half hours you stay in your room?
Yeah. You are allowed to book multiple outside time.
So you could book 4 if your cohort did the same.
Yeah, and if there was time. So a day before yesterday, so what was that, Wednesday, they closed it off from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. because they had so many arrivals and other things going on and meal times. So you weren't allowed to go out during that time. So that pretty much locked off majority of the day for most people to go outside.
That's a good question, Doc. How did you get Rowan in there?
Phil dropped it off to the loading dock.
So people can drop stuff off to you, and then it gets cleared to go up.
Yes, there's a loading dock that you just drop things off to, and then the hotel staff bring it up to us. But once it's in your room, it's here, nothing can go back out.
Right. Wow.
So,
would you be able to wear a weighted vest on the walk?
yes. No.
We'll drop you one.
I was just thinking maybe I could get one to you. Then what you could do is everyone would be like, she got a bomb?
Yeah.
Why should wear this?
I probably would. I was actually, probably there's a reason. We can't open our windows. So this is one of the worst things for me, is I hate, I don't particularly like aircon, and I'm not a huge fan of fans, as many people may know. But I like airflow.
Yeah.
I like to be able to have windows and doors open, and so we're not allowed our doors open, and we've got no windows. They're closed windows. But then I was like, actually, it's probably a good idea they don't have windows that can open.
People will be jumping out.
Yeah, you probably would. But it's quite funny. I was like, I'm here by myself in my room, and I'm lucky. Everyone's been messaging, and that's been really, really good. But not once has the worst team actually called up and said, hey, how are you getting on? Which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah. We might need to write a letter to old Auntie Cindy and say they need to have a hotline for people that are alone and don't have people that are messaging them and asking how they are, right?
Yeah, because you can cool down, but I feel like when I'm in a really shit headspace, I'm not going to pick up the phone and call someone.
Yeah.
But if I knew that someone was calling daily and then they just happened to call during bad time, I'd be like, fuck, yeah, no, it's really hard.
Yeah.
So
that's a really good point. What's the food like?
Pretty good most of the time. It's hotel quality food. Today is going to be a great food day.
Tell us what
Yeah, so food today, I've got bircher muesli, a pear bircher muesli coming for breakfast. And then lunch is the Mojo crispy chicken burger, which is what I think I had in my first couple of days. So I'm pretty excited about that. Not too excited about fish curry for dinner, but they like to throw in one healthy meal. But yeah, food is pretty good. The only thing is it's usually a little bit like lukewarm by the time it gets to us. So it's not.
Got a microwave?
No, it's fire.
No microwave.
That's why Stylebender got blown up, because he was like, oh, well, I'm going to improvise. And
Can you get Phil to drop you off a microwave?
oh,
Nah.
it's a hazard.
Is that right?
Yeah, so they check them. Yeah. So you
Do
can
you
have pretty much, you can have anything delivered, like anything, but nothing that can be used for cooking. So, or like any like appliances pretty much. And there's a limit on alcohol. So I think no spirits, but you can have 1 bottle of wine a day delivered, and then maybe like 12 small like cans of beers or something.
At whose cost?
Yours.
Oh, okay.
Can you Uber Eats?
Yeah.
I'd be broke.
Yeah, I'd be broke too.
What's the coffee like?
You have to pay for it, but I drink long black. It's okay. It's okay.
Wow. Okay, so going past the quarantine stuff, how was your trip?
Yes.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I think leading right up to it, I was quite in a like negative sort of mindset, but it was sort of like I didn't feel as fit as I was. My weight was higher than I wanted it to be. Mat wise, I definitely didn't feel like on as good as form, or like I just felt like I had lost a lot since I had last competed. So I kind of was really unsure and a bit shitty going. And I think part of that was that I was waiting for it to be cancelled. Like I just didn't expect it to go ahead after everything that happened. So you don't want to get your hopes up. But got over there, originally trying to go to Georgia. We got stopped at Auckland Airport. We weren't able to board. So they said that we needed to have 2 vaccines before we left, which obviously is impossible. So we ended up waiting right until the last minute while they were calling back to Georgia, and then boarded to Dubai. Had to get off at Dubai and then sort it out from there. And then once that happened, the Georgia Judo Federation picked it all up and were able to sort it out. So like in these countries, the judo federations are huge and they have a lot of power. So they can have, like, they can get the government to override it. It would be like rugby over here. So got to Georgia. At each competition, as soon as you arrive, you get tested and put in your room. And that usually takes about 12 hours for your results to come back. So you're not allowed out of your room until you get your results back. 12 to 24 hours is normal. And then once you are allowed out, you're allowed out to train within your bubble. And you're allowed down for meals, but otherwise you're not allowed out of the hotel area. So it essentially becomes this big judo bubble and no one's allowed out. So I've actually hardly been outside at all in the last month.
No hotel rooms really well.
Yeah, pretty much just been in hotel rooms and training venues. But and then caught up with Australian team, first comp, fought way better than I expected. It's been over 12 months since I've fought at that level. I was a little bit disappointed because I felt it was a fight I could have won, but still fought really well. So it was like kind of took it on the chin. Same with this competition. Like these were both top 30 players. And again, it was that I thought that I was really close to beating. It was just missing that last little bit of an edge. That was in Turkey. And then by the time I got to Kyrgyzstan, I was in a pretty shit mood. The organization there was really, really bad. But managed to pull it together. Had a just a really hard, slow weight cut, but pulled it together and came away with 5th. So would have liked to have done better, but still really happy with that to be able to place. It was really good points. So
when you say the top 30, is that in the world?
Yeah.
And then 5th overall is in the world?
No. Okay. So 5th was at the Asia Pacific Champs.
Okay. That's awesome, Justine.
Yeah, so it's good result. Yeah,
you were in, and all the controversy going into it. Like, when was the last time you had actually thrown someone around in a competition style?
Overseas, it would have been December 2019 was my last international.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it feel weird flying?
Yeah, it was really unconditioned. I didn't think you could get conditioned to flying, but like the turnaround of being able to get over jet lag and like recover quickly, and we were all exhausted by the time we got to Kyrgyzstan.
Yeah,
just the amount of travel, and the competition's got a day earlier each time, so it's 3 comps in 12 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, most of the time you were getting COVID tests, trying to sort out if you were going to fight or not, and jet lag.
Fragment training.
Yeah.
There's so Olympics in 98 days. What does that now mean for you?
So qualification is still going, but I hold the quota spot, so I'm still leading in the points, which is good.
Yeah.
I still need to satisfy the NZOC's criteria, which is to beat someone in the top 32. So I'll probably have one more competition to try and do that, and that'll be Worlds at the beginning of June. And then from there, I have to like put a case together and then send that off to the NZOC, and then the Olympics are end of July. So it's quite tight. Like I won't know until I'm pretty much on a plane going.
When's that date for that fight against the top 32 person?
And where?
Well,
yeah.
That's in Hungary, and I think it's like the 6th or 7th of June.
So you'll be back in time for our birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And is this your last campaign for judo fighting competitively?
That's an excellent question.
Put you on the spot.
Answer.
Yeah. Depends who's listening. No, I think mentally it's definitely easier to focus on just the Olympics at this stage. I went through a point last year where I walked away from the sport for a good couple of months. Was still training, but I didn't have Olympics on the horizon. It seemed a little bit too big. So I think it will probably be my last campaign, definitely. Come games are next year, and there's a different qualification criteria for that. It would kind of depend on like what support, what funding I would get, where my body was at, a lot of my headspace, how I feel after the Olympics as well. Like if I'm sort of real buzzed up about it, or if I'm just like, no, this is it. So I'm definitely in the headspace that after August I'm done. And I think that's because that was where I was last. Is so much closer. Like it's going to be less than 12 months. You just have to be in the top 6 in the Commonwealth, which I think I'm 3 or 4 at the moment. So it could be quite an easy qualification for me, but you've got to be in the right headspace. It's a big commitment to train at this level. So
in terms of your headspace, Justine, like I've had a bad week emotionally. That's okay because we all do. What are your go-tos? Like, what's the things that keep you above the water? Just so normal. This is normal. These are normal conversations that we're having. You know, we all got to go through this together. So I want to know what you do to keep yourself in these situations above. You know.
I think I try and sort of find as much routine or structure in my day as possible, but at the same time realize that it's not always going to happen. So like yesterday, for instance, I got up, I've had a crap sleep. I haven't slept well since I got here. So I had a crap sleep. I was feeling a bit like blocked up, did a little bit of work, went down, did my yard time, and I was just like, fuck, this is shit. And then came back up, and I was supposed to go and I was going to train then, but I ended up having a big cry and then lying down and having a nap instead.
Yeah.
But then had my nap, got up, and I was like, right, now I got to do some work. So I guess like try and find as much structure as I can. I'll usually tell people when I'm feeling a bit shit, and be like, I feel like shit, give me something to do. So yeah, I think like for me, I have to say it. And then by saying it, it doesn't become so internalized. It doesn't become my problem. It's
amen to
like
that.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think definitely in here, trying to have as much structure as possible. And even with like watching Netflix and stuff, I don't watch TV series because they're too easy to sort of like just keep going and going. So I'll watch at nighttime. I would only watch a movie because then the movie finishes. It's not worth starting stuff again. And
Wow. I'm well impressed. And I don't know anyone that's actually done the 14 days either. So you're the first person I know to go through it. How many COVID tests have you had in total?
In total, here I've had 2. I would have had, so before I left, I had 2 in Georgia, 3 in Turkey, 2 in Kyrgyzstan. So I'm up to 10.
Right, a lot of shit up your nose, mate.
Yeah, it's a professional nose pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Okay, what about let's lighten the mood a little. Have you like, because you're by yourself and obviously you've got Ro in there. Are you talking to yourself? Have you thought of I saw your post yesterday of have you ever thought of how many other random things have you thought of?
Oh, that's my brain all the time. Like we could be driving down the street and I would see I don't know, I'd see like a roundabout and I'd be like, fuck, who even thought of that? Like, who thinks of a roundabout? How did that even happen? And that, like, it'll be, I can't think of them until I think of them and I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, like, that's just really, like, it's just the simplest of things, but who thought of that?
Right?
Who thought that was a good idea when they woke up and was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. This is going to be life-changing.
Anything in your hotel room that's random?
Nah, I've got a drying rack and salad spinner showing up today. I guess that's a bit random. I'm going to use the salad spinner as the spin cycle.
What, for your laundry?
Yeah.
So you can't do laundry there?
Well, you can do 2 loads your whole stay and only up to 10 items. 10 items. Otherwise, you've got to pay $35 for 10 items to get washed.
Why don't you just drop it off at the dock and get Phil to pick it up and he can do it?
You're not allowed. Nothing's allowed out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well then we've got a little debacle there.
What's the first thing you're going to do once you break out?
Oh.
That's not R18, Justine.
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing. Yeah, I probably will train. I'd probably go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday night, I'll go to the gym.
That's next Friday.
Yeah.
So, but you go into full lockdown. You can't get any more yard time from next Wednesday, right? Because you have your final test, and then you're on full lockdown. You're not allowed to leave.
So. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the final test. So because it's 12 days the pathogen it takes to get hold of you, which is why that test is the most important, because if you do have COVID, it's going to be probably that test that'll show it. So they want you to be fully locked in. So if you do have it, then you're good. Because that's what happened with some of those weak transmissions that happened. We got caused in the lockdown was because
they were timing it wrong.
Yeah, well, they got their test and it was clear, but then they retested and it wasn't clear, but they'd already left, which is the reason why they're now from full lockdown for that period.
Have you? Are the people that you went overseas with, like other fighters, are they in the same hotel as you or no?
Nah, so Jason, the other New Zealander, arrived 2 or 3 days after me. So he fought later. So he is also somewhere in Auckland, but I can't remember where.
True.
Have you heard any crazy things from your next door neighbors?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
one chick was like talks in quite a high pitched voice.
I don't know, Channel was there. Channel, what are you doing there?
Nah, nothing weird. I think I'm probably the weird neighbor because I have music going all day and then Rowan and then dumbbells. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm the weird neighbor.
Imagine her just like, Rowan, why aren't the cows going up?
Yeah.
Yes, this one is so much harder. He doesn't move. Like, I'm rowing, and I'm like, I'm not a great rower, but I definitely know I row it faster than a 3-minute pace. And then I'm like, why isn't it going?
Is it a Zebex rower?
Nah, it's I don't know what that is. It's an R9 Elite Fitness.
Oh.
Hey, Rowan.
Hey, Rowan. And is that
it's not a chain, it's a strap.
Is that the only sunlight you have? Is that window?
Yes.
Wow.
Have you seen anything weird outside, like people doing inappropriate things?
I would be looking at the other room, like the other room windows. Like when I get up to the hotel room, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, I've been keeping my eye look out often, but I don't have a lot. So I think it's Fort Street down there, and not a lot of action happens down there. There's not a lot of people.
It will tonight. It's Friday.
True.
It will.
I crashed last Friday, so maybe this Friday is the Friday to see something. It's quite disappointing, so I thought the people watching would be good. And you can see into some people's apartments, but people around here just never seem to be in their offices. So
that's because they're all working from home.
Yeah. So it's a bit disappointing on the people watching from.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to be in town soon. I'm going to catch up with a friend of mine, Alice. So let me know what time your yard time is, and maybe I'll come around and we can kind of look at each other from 5 meters away and say hello.
Through the little gap. It's honestly, it's so funny. My yard time is at 9:45 today.
Oh, no, I won't be able to be there. But what I'll do is I'll go past and beep out.
Okay, thank you.
The Stanford Plaza.
The Stanford players. Yeah.
Hey, you can pick our quote of the day, and let's check in again next week so then we can see how progress is going, because that sucks. You got until next
see how crazy I look. I probably have like no hair left. Even bigger bags under my eyes.
So has Phil come to see you, like at the yard time?
Nah. It's usually just lots of. No one's came to see me. But I don't know if it's one of those things that I think I prefer not to. Like, you know, when you're so close but so far away.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's lots of families and people, I think, that have moved from overseas that haven't seen people. So they're the ones that seem to come visit. But I'm like, oh, is that depressing?
You should like low key join one of their like gatherings. Like if they're going to say hi to their fence, and like just be like, hey,
just go behind them.
Oh, wow.
Well, someone actually today, the New Zealand Defence Force guy, one of the guys working here, shows up again, who used to do judo. So he'll talk to me. He'll give me.
I love that. Come on, sir.
Yeah.
Say hello.
Yeah, actually.
What's that number?
Pick a number between 200 and 300. You can do our quote of the day for today. Pick a number between 200 and
250.
I think we've already done that, but
251.
251. No, we haven't done 250 actually.
Here we go.
Okay. Quote of the day. Until a person can say deeply and honestly, I am what I am today because of the choices I made yesterday, that person cannot say, I choose otherwise. That's a rich one for Friday.
It is.
Been having lovely yarns with you today, my friend.
Oh,
Thanks
enjoy
for talking to me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And be kind to Rowan.
Yeah, don't throw him out the window.
We might do it. Let's do a poll and see what your next workout is on Rowan, eh?
I reckon you should do the marathon.
What? 42K?
Yeah.
The marathon instead of the 5Ks every hour.
I know you do both.
You look excited for both.
That's what it is 23 and a half hours.
True. Wait, so you have to do 5K every hour?
Every hour for 10 hours. That's 50 Ks.
Yeah.
Wow, Jay. I want to see that too.
That'd be sweet.
You'll be right. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
Put some Disney songs on. You'll be great.
What you should do is do like an outfit change every time. Just do like random stuff. Like, wear a sheet. Put a pillowcase over you, like, I don't know.
Yeah, make it an entertaining one.
Yeah.
It gets so sweaty in here though. Like it's so sweaty.
Is it? Even with the aircon. You could do the 100K, Carly said.
I'm not doing 100Ks, Carly.
Shut that right down. Anyway, you have a good day, and we will talk to you very, 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 very soon. Everyone
Monday.
else, have a good weekend. Have a good day. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll see you soon, eh? Peace out. All the
Bye.
love.